Would you like to share something first, or I can?
I don't know how people can say something about your one.
About your center? It's up to you.
And I can say something. It's a pleasure and privilege to have Rasikananda Maharaj with us. First time in probably in Croatia.
Yes.
And welcome everyone. Hopefully you will enjoy spiritual sangha and be enlightened and inspired.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Maharaj ki jai.
Jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Seva Kunje Braje Ramye Govardhane Giro Sada Radha Kunde Rasanande Tat Tat Seva Pradayakam Gurung Narayanakyam Tang Vande Vinoda Pristakam Yat Paras Smriti Matrena Damodhara Prasiddhati. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Those who know it, we can chant together. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindaye Tulasi Devai Priyaye Kesavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavate Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Gurudeva ki jai, Srila Swami Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur-Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakraju ki jai, Shri Radha Govinda Radha Shama Sundaraju ki jai, Jai Shri Radhe Sham. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for having me here in your beautiful center. Pranams to Sundarananda Prabhuji, Mahaprabhu, all you beautiful devotees, Nityananda Ram Prabhu, the different devotees I've not met yet, but we're meeting here together. Thank you to Marilyn. Thank you to Monica. Thank you to Shobharani, Mataji, Shoda Mataji, Tarun Krishna, Tara, everybody else. Hare Krishna, pranams. I'm very honored to be here. So this evening, we'll be having our regular Kirtan session. So I'll speak a little bit about the practice of Kirtan as the topmost limb of Bhakti, and what is Bhakti, and what is the development of Bhakti, what is our goal of life. I grew up in a Hare Krishna community in California, and some of my earliest memories are doing Kirtan. So, this is by the causeless mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He brought this movement to the West. I lived in India for 15 years, from 2005 to 2020, and then my guru there in India sent us back to the West, in America, and he said, go wherever you think is good. And we thought we must go to New York City to honor Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. How much love and devotion and effort he put into helping us, with what sacrifice. And you see the power of this practice. We may not even understand it on our intellectual level, but the power of Kirtan is transformational, truly. Swami Prabhupada sat under a tree and just began to chant, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The whole world began to dance. We see that the power of that Kirtan is still growing and spreading. Not only that, but through these great festivals like Rath Yatra all over the world, the holy names are being spread. We hear from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the power of this chanting, Kirtan. In his 8 prayers of Shikshastakam, Cheto Dharpana Marjanam, chanting of this Kirtan has the power to completely purify the heart. The heart and the mind are clouded in material life, in conditioned life. All different kinds of desires. But by Kirtan, gradually it awakens the real nature of the Atma, which is love and devotion to the Supreme. And by Kirtan, you can come to a stage of life where you can recognize that Krishna or God is always with you, not in the theoretical platform, but as actually as an experience. Chetadharpana Marjanam in its final stage will reveal Krishna in your heart. As clearly as you can see yourself in the mirror, or as clearly as we see each other. This is the power of Kirtan. That Mahaprabhu said, why is that? Because all of the Lord's power or potency is in these names. So Krishna gives all of his potency. Nam nam akari bahuda nija sarva shaktis. And he makes it very easy. Tatrapita niyamita smarane nakalaha. You can chant or practice Kirtan in any condition of life. Rules are very important as we progress. But when Lord Nityananda began distributing the holy name, he didn't go to the Orthodox Brahmins. He went to the drunkards in the street, Jagai Madai, and he said, can you chant these names with me? He didn't tell them you have to shave your head and put on tilak and put on neck beads and change your life. He said, just chant with me. It's very simple. Swami Prabhupada in the beginning, he was also preaching like this, very simply. Everyone can just take to this practice. This is for all, not just all human beings, but it benefits the entire existence, all living entities. Krishna says, I am present in my name. The Bhagavatam, Chatusloki, Krishna says, Aham evasami vagre nanyat yat sarasat param paschalaham yatetascha yovashisteta sosmyaham. Whatever you see in this world is manifesting from my energy. And so I am present in it as a transformation of my energy, my Shakti. So in every particle of existence, the energy of Krishna is present. Every particle. But we are not perceiving that. That's why later in Chatusloki Bhagavatam, Krishna says, what is Maya? Maya is not the material world almost. Maya is forgetfulness of Krishna. Maya is not just the material world. Anything that you see that is not in relation to Krishna, that is Maya. Rite artam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyat atmano mayam yataha bhasho yatatama. It's not that this is Maya, this is Maya, this is Maya, this is Maya. I am not able to see its connection to Krishna or the Supreme. That is Maya. And so by doing Kirtan, how I understand it is, one thing my Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj would say, said, I can help you walk, but you have to hold my finger. You have to do some effort. So Krishna is present in every particle. This is in the Brahma Samhita. It said, Anoraniyam. I am present in every andantara staparamanu chayantarastam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Andantara staparamanu chayantarastam. Krishna says that the super soul in one level and then the Brahman, the spiritual energy, is present within the core of every atom. That's our body. Everything is connected to spirit. Everything is coming from spirit. But ignorance means sometimes you cannot see what you are surrounded in. Like a fish cannot know that it's in water. A bird does not know it's in the air. So we forget that we are always within the absolute, connected. Krishna also gives this forgetfulness. We could say, why have we forgotten? So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, chapter 15, Mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. I give you forgetfulness. How do we forget? As human beings, we are very evolved. It's not that we should just forget God or forget our source or creator. But he gives us that because our desire is for that. Enjoying this world without connection to spirit. So how do we revive that lost connection? Therefore, this practice of Kirtan is the most effective method. Cheto dharpanam arjanam. The more you practice Kirtan, the more you awaken your true nature, your true self. What is Bhakti? Bhakti we call devotional service. That's one definition. But to get to that stage of Bhakti, there's a verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. When your consciousness is completely purified and you go beyond all material designations of life, then the offering of devotion and love in service to the Absolute, to Krishna, the master of the senses, with your purified senses, that is Bhakti. One of my Shiksha Gurus, Srila Bhaktivedanta Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, he would say, Bhakti, bhajan, are Baba, just develop some sukriti. That means the tendency to gradually come closer to Krishna in devotion. Like we practice Ekadashi. This is actually why we follow most rules and regulations. Purify our existence, develop good spiritual merit, like a spiritual bank balance. But this verse is very important. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam. That means when I have transcended all material designations of life. This is also what Lord Chaitanya taught. It's a famous verse. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he would give this verse along with initiation. Famous verse. Naham vipro napi vaishyo na sudro nahang varnichana grihapatir kintu prodyan nikila paramartha gopi bharatu padakamaleo dasa dasa nudasa. This verse means that all our material designations, they are necessary to a degree, but in the realm of bhakti and relationship to Krishna, you have to transcend them. That's also through kirtan. It's not an intellectual process. By kirtan, by the simple practice of bhakti, we'll learn to relate with Krishna as pure spirit, as on the level of our atma. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam. That's why Mahaprabhu said, I am not a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, any of these varnas, nor am I a brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, or sannyas. We have to act within our roles to some degree, right? We cannot say, okay, I am not, I'm just nothing, or I'm just pure soul. But when we are practicing bhakti, we should not be attached to that label. I am from this place, from that place. Sometimes people say, oh, you should only practice bhakti if you're from India. I've heard this. Anybody here from India? No one's here from India. How are you chanting these names of Krishna? This is the Hindu god. Swami Prabhupada would say, actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he would say like this also. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, party spirit is the great enemy of truth. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's quote. He said, as long as we are enmeshed in party spirit, we cannot practice pure spiritual life. Hare Krishna. He said, otherwise people will think, why are you worshipping Krishna? He is from India. Anyone think Krishna is from India when you think of Krishna? He appeared in India. This is important. His pastime places are in Vrindavan. This is important. But would anyone think Krishna, anyone here think, who thinks Krishna is Indian? Everyone can raise your hands. Nobody, okay. Krishna is the Supreme Personality. This is transcendental. So Mahaprabhu said, you must go beyond that consideration and not on the level of your mind or your intelligence, simply by this kirtan. By kirtan, then Chaitadarpana Marjanam. The more we practice, the more the heart is purified. You may think, okay, I can do it once, it's enough. Every 2-3 days we have to wash our clothes, right? The dirt comes back. This is the material nature, mal. So every day we practice Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Every day. This is our essential practice. Grihetako vanitako. Does not matter if you're in household life or renounced life or you're man or woman. None of these things have anything to do with your eternal Atma. Sometimes, one time, one of my god sisters approached our Guru and said, oh, Gurudev, I wish I could be a brahmachari. Next life, maybe I can be with you as a brahmachari. He said, this is just an upadi, a material designation. Whatever life you have is the best life you have to become perfected. These things don't matter. When you realize your Atma, you're not going to think, oh, I am from the West, I'm from Croatia or India or America, I'm man or woman. You realize that my Atma, my soul is dear most beloved. My life and soul is Paramatma, the Supreme. And as much as I develop a mood of love and devotion, that Paramatma will appear to you as Krishna. There's another interesting verse in Bhagavatam. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. Mahaprabhu said, Chaito dharpana marjanam. First you'll realize Krishna in your heart. And that comes through the practice of the chanting and through the deities, through the practice, through association with devotees. But he didn't say you clean your body, he said you clean your heart, so you can see Krishna here. But as you practice more in devotion, in love, what you realize Krishna in the heart is the super soul. But when you really have that mood of love and surrender and devotion, then Krishna will manifest in his own form, his beautiful Brajendraనందన్ Krishna. That's why it's said in this verse of Bhagavatam that the super soul, Paramatma, the Brahman, the universal spiritual energy, and Krishna are all the same supreme absolute, just according to different perception. That's one beautiful thing about Lord Chaitanya's teachings, is that it reconciles all the diverse opinions of Vedic thought into one harmonized conception. We call it Chinta Veda Veda Tattva. That Krishna and the Brahman and Paramatma and all the different forms, Ram, Vaman, Nrsimha, these are not different forms of the Godhead. Bhagavan is Ek, one. But who is then Krishna? One of the beauties of Bhakti is that it said, Bhakti evam darshayati. Bhakti, this practice we're doing, especially Kirtan, has the power to reveal Krishna to you. So Krishna says, I reveal myself, that none of your own endeavor can reveal Krishna to you, actually. That's what Krishna says. Nayamatma pravachanena labhya na midhaya na bahuna shrutena yang evaisa vinute tanuswam. I reveal myself to those whom I choose. That's what Krishna says. So who does he choose? Krishna said, when your love or your bhakti manifests, then I cannot resist. I am bound to reveal myself. There's 6 stages in the development of bhakti. And the 6th stage is Krishna Akarshani. Your bhakti will develop to such a degree that Krishna can no longer resist revealing himself to you. It's very interesting, huh? Krishna, the absolute truth, all attractive. The definition of Krishna's name, Krishna, means all attractive. The only thing that can attract the all attractive is pure love and devotion, bhakti. And Krishna says, I reveal myself to that person who develops this love and devotion. So that's the special quality of bhakti. Not through gyan, speculative path of knowledge, not through yogic perfections of mystic siddhis, not through any other method, only by bhakti. That's why Lord Brahma said, Jnane prayasam udapasya namanta eva. Give up the path of speculative knowledge. Simply stane stitam shrukiti gatam tanuvan manobi. Simply practice this path of bhakti, hearing and performing kirtan. Enough. If you look at Mahaprabhu's teachings, he doesn't make it complicated. Lord Chaitanya didn't make it complicated. In this one verse, the first verse, Shikshastakam, everything is there. From Cheto Darpana Marjanam, next, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, all your material problems will gradually disappear. What does that mean? Does it mean your life will be perfect? You have as much money as you want, great relationships, everything's perfect? No. You transcend it. Krishna says in the Gita, you become like a lotus. Roots in the water, in the mud, but unaffected. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma na sochati na kamsati. Krishna says in the Gita, Yo antar sukho antara ramas tatantara jyotireva cha sa yogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhuto adhigacchati. By this practice of kirtan, you realize what? Yo antar sukho. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapana means, I'll give you an example. Anyone heard the story of Prahlad Maharaj? I'm sure you most have. You know the story of Prahlad? You could say Prahlad was a very great devotee. Did all his material problems disappear? So many material problems. But he was unaffected. See, Cheto Dharpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. The forest fire of material existence is gradually extinguished. And what was Prahlad doing? In any situation, any circumstance, performing kirtan. Kirtan or japa or dhyan, meditation on Krishna. So bhava mahadavagni is the second result of kirtan. Krishna says in the Gita, Yadate moha kalilam buddhi vyati tarisyati tada gantasi nirvedyam shrotavyasya shutasya cha. Very interesting verse. Krishna said, as soon as your intelligence and your mind crosses beyond the forest of illusion, you'll become completely indifferent to all worldly things. This is mukti, liberation. This is transcendental life. Not that all your problems are gone. Oh, I've been doing bhakti for many years. I still have problems. Like in New York, you parked your car in the wrong spot, you get a ticket. But I've been doing bhakti. Why did I get a ticket? I still have material problems. This is all temporary. By kirtan, you continue. Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam. The moon of good fortune rises. What is that? Shri Guru appears in our life and guides us towards Krishna. Yo antar sukho, by the same kirtan, as your heart becomes pure, then anandam buddhivardhanam. It gives a rise to a sense of bliss that's not on the material level. Most of the happiness we experience in life is based on interaction of the senses with objects of the senses. If you think about it, most of your happiness, even material love, it's emotional, it's something closer to the heart, but most of our happiness is on the material platform. But by this practice of kirtan bhakti, which we are going to continue doing tonight, this is just the warm-up act for kirtan. It will awaken that ananda, which is completely transcendental, which is connected to the atma. As your atma, yourself, starts to awaken, then its nature is ananda. That our atma is part of Krishna. Mamaivang sajiva loke. You understand? Our soul is part and parcel of Krishna. When you're starting to wake up, then its nature is Satchidananda. And that ananda which awakens in bhakti, it's not only our bliss that's increasing. We're offering our atma to Krishna, and in bhakti we're increasing his bliss. Then it's anandam buddhivardhanam, pratipadam purna amrita swadanam, sarvatma snaparam param vijayate shri Krishna sankirtanam. So this is the glory of kirtan. It's very wonderful seeing this spread throughout the world. This is primarily by the efforts and the grace given through Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is for everyone. This is not bound by any specific group, or that, oh, you have to take the name, you have to shave your head. This is for everyone. Lord Nityananda gave this to Jagai Madai, he was like, how can I find the worst people in society to give this process to? That was his thought. When Lord Chaitanya said, go and preach, go and spread this, Lord Nityananda thought, all right, I'll find the worst people and give them this practice and let them become blissful and transcendental. Then I'll prove it works. Not that Jagai Madai were meant to become sannyasis and big preachers. No. Let them take to this practice and let them be happy. And they became very happy. So, I'd like to tell one story. Is that okay? Yeah, of course. One thing about this Maha Mantra specifically is it's a very interesting concept, very deep philosophical concept. In our line, especially, we are trying to serve the divine couple, Radha Krishna. Srimati Radhika is the personification of pure love. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramananda Roy says, Shri Radhara Swarup Prem Kalpalata. That Srimati Radhika is Prem Kalpalata. That means the tree or the vine of divine love. And all the different gopis, they are like flowers on that vine of divine love for Krishna. So this is the metaphor given to explain the reality of Radha Krishna. Krishna is described to be like the tree. You can meditate on this, right? Krishna is the tree of all existence. In the Bhagavatam, it said, water the root of the tree, and everyone is satisfied. What does that mean? Serve God, develop your relationship with Krishna, everyone is made happy. So Krishna is described to be like the tree of divine life, and Srimati Radhika is the creeper of pure love, embracing that. When we are chanting Mahamantra, these pairs of names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, this is all the meeting and separation of the divine couple Radha Krishna. So back to the beginning of the talk. When we are doing Kirtan, it's beyond the intellectual or the mental level. You're acting in a way where you are not just connecting yourself to Krishna, but you're serving the union of the divine couple. It's one point I want to emphasize. With our intelligence, how can we do bhakti? Just with our intelligence. Or with our mind. Bhakti is performed with your senses, to the master of the senses. So when we are doing Kirtan, when we are chanting this Mahamantra, we are actively using not just our mind and intelligence, but our speech, our heart, our devotion, our senses. And because Radha Krishna are non-different from their names, we are serving their union. Like we have this beautiful painting here. The mood of the devotees in our line is Radha Krishna should never experience the pain of separation. That we, as Jivatmas, individual spirit souls, our highest aspiration is to serve Srimati Radhika in her meeting with Krishna. That's why before every class, Srila Swami Prabhupada would sing, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. That means, how can we serve the meeting of that pure love with pure consciousness, Sri Radha with Sri Krishna? When you're chanting this Maha Mantra, that meeting is also taking place in your own heart and soul in one mystical way. Because the name, they are present in the name. This is the idea, right? And so that means by this Kirtan, what you'll see over time is it has the power to not just awaken realization of Radha Krishna, but to completely heal your heart and to harmonize your being with Radha and Krishna. That means complete holistic spirituality. Not most people, most religions, they're worshiping only like God the Father, you could say, right? Most religions. Where's the space for the divine feminine? So one of the beauties of our path is that not just intellectually, we're theoretically thinking, oh, Radha's there, Krishna's there. But no, in the Mahamantra, we are serving them directly. This is the highest service. Bhakti means loving service. The best service we can perform in this age is through this Mahamantra Kirtan, because this is serving their meeting. That may they not experience separation. It said, like that then, in every atom of our body, we can meditate through this sound vibration. Everything is coming from sound. Everything is coming from vibration. So by Kirtan, ourselves, our environment, and the ripple effects, the sound vibrations going out into the world, everyone is becoming more happy, more peaceful. So I'll end with one quick story. One time, this is in Braj Leela. One time, Krishna actually disguised himself. This is one Leela pastime. This is in the book. It's published by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So one time, Krishna wanted to understand the nature of pure love. So the goal of bhakti is that as we progress in bhakti, as a human being, we can reach the stage of bhav. That means ecstatic devotion. Lord Chaitanya spoke about this in Shikshastakam in verses 6, 7, 8. So, bhakti, bhav, prem. Prem is not possible in this human form, But in transcendental life, it's nature, the nature of prem, the swarup of prem, the form of prem is Srimati Radhika. So Krishna wanted to understand what is the nature of your pure love. That's also why he became Lord Chaitanya, his internal reason. Shiradhaya pranaya mahima kidriso vanayaiva, etc. So Krishna, to understand this, he came in disguise. He actually dressed as a heavenly damsel, put on very nice makeup. Krishna, and by his powers, he appeared as a very attractive young lady. And he came to Srimati Radhika in Javat. It's a long story, but I'll just give the essence, the point. So Krishna came to Srimati Radhika and said, why do you love that naughty boy Krishna? This was an essential question. First he came and he was showing to be very sad. And Radharani said, why are you so sad, Krishna? Oh, she didn't know he was Krishna. So why are you so sad, my dear friend? And she asked again and again and again, why are you so sad? So then Krishna, in disguise, as a young lady, said, I heard the sound of Krishna's flute. The sound of Krishna's flute even went into the heavenly realm. And hearing it there, I came to find the source of that because it pulled my heart. And when I came here to Vrindavan, I heard your glories, Srimati Radhika's glories, and I came to see you, but I saw Krishna had left you. Krishna was here and there, and I became very sad. And I thought, why do you love Krishna? This is the essence of the story. Why do you love Krishna? And actually, Krishna in disguise began to criticize himself so much. He does this, he does this, he does this. You've heard the stories, right? Krishna steals butter. He's doing so many things. Sometimes Srila Swami Prabhupada would call Krishna like a rascal even. So he said, why do you love Krishna? And Radharani said, you do not understand the nature of prem. Prem, she said, it's described there in this verse of Chakravarti Thakur. As soon as you start developing in bhakti, all material desires or all desires just for your own happiness will gradually disappear. The quality of bhakti is simply the desire to please or to make Krishna happy. That is pure love. So Radharani said, actually, this prem or pure love has such a powerful quality that the more obstacles come, the more it becomes powerful. It's a very important point about bhakti. We see this in the life of our acharyas. The more obstacles, the more difficulty, the more powerful the bhakti becomes, the more powerful the prem condenses. Radharani gave a metaphor, a very beautiful example. She said, love is like a lion. And any obstacle in the path of love, even if it's a huge elephant, love will eat that elephant like a lion and become more strong by it. Like good protein. That's what Radharani said. He said, any obstacle in your path of pure love is just like food to make you stronger. So she spoke many beautiful things. But the main thing she said is, you cannot understand this. It's something you experience and you practice. That's the path of bhakti. The path of bhakti is experiential. We experience it, we practice it, and that's a daily sadhana. Every day, and gradually realizations will come, but we pray that we can just, we've been given the perfect practice. Every day you try to spend some time chanting japa. That's your personal time. People say, japa for me seems like a chore. It's very difficult to complete. So I say we should adjust how you think about japa. Japa is not like a ritual, a practice. Japa you should think of as time with Krishna. Our whole day, we have so much time for so many things. Every day we should try to spend time with Krishna through his names. Krishna says in the Gita 6:30, Yo mam pasyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pasyati tasyaham na pranasyami sacha me na pranasyati. that person who sees me everywhere and everything in me, I am never lost to them and they are never lost to me. How can you do that? Through this practice of japa, kirtan. You come to an understanding, you see through the veil of Maya that the material energy is only the shadow of the absolute. Sometimes I describe this as like, when you become spiritually aware, you can see like the fingerprints of God everywhere. Sometimes people say, where is God? Show me God, prove God to me. But as you practice bhakti, you start to experience that transformation of the heart. You can see the fingerprints of that everywhere. Krishna says, everything is coming from me. And you are also inside and part of me. So we practice japa to remember that connection. That's so important. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Then Kirtan, it's very nice. At least once a week we come together to do Kirtan. You can't do Kirtan with a group of devotees every day, always, unless you're in the temple life. But every day you can do japa. So this is the best practice. And if you have Diksha, it's also very helpful. But this practice is the best. Harikatha is also very helpful. But I'm just personally very grateful to be here because I know this is, the pillars of our movement. Anywhere Swami Prabhupada established his teachings, his mood, everyone is very seriously, sincerely practicing this path of bhakti. This is the best thing we can do. Harir Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nasteva, Gatiranyata, Gaur Premanandi. Thank you very much. Panchakalpa, Trivishipa, Sindhavecha, Padidanan, Bhavanidho. So 7 o'clock, you can do Kirtan or as you like. Anyone have any questions? There's so many unlimited things to talk about, but I thought Kirtan is good. Questions? No questions? I have many questions. I can ask questions. What's everyone's favorite aspect of bhakti? I think Kirtan is good, yeah? Mahaprasadam. That comes later. Yes, bro.
I can start first, maybe. So it's also a part of our process to do outdoor, not only indoor kirtan, but outdoor. And it seems to me that it is even more powerful, right? Because we are giving God to others. We are like the medium, and you can see in the faces they meet God. Yeah. And you are like facilitating that. It's a wonderful feeling. So how to inspire devotees to go, because sometimes devotees, they are afraid people will see me, maybe there will be people from the jobs or neighbor, but then I think the experience is so strong, it's otherworldly. So how to inspire more devotees to that this is the real thing.
So Mahaprabhu said, Sankirtanat. Sankirtan specifically means, public, in the public, or with a large group. If you have enough people together, that can also be considered Sankirtan. But really, Sankirtan is in the mood of Lord Chaitanya going out in the streets. So I know sometimes, I would be shy growing up also. But if you put on a disguise, put on a nice sari, put on a nice dhoti, it's a disguise. Then people may not recognize you. Put on some makeup, tilak. If you put on disguise, people think, people, it's hard to recognize you. They'll look at the disguise. Maybe some people will recognize you. But if you're shy, it's good if you have a group also. If everyone goes together, if there's a few people, you can become shy. But once a month, I'm sure you have Sankirtan here. Harinam, sometime.
It used to be, but it stopped here.
It's tricky, I know. But this is Swami Prabhupada. He just sat under a tree in the public. Sometimes what I would recommend is, you go to a public park, you do it like a picnic. Maybe it's not, going, you say everyone, hey, we're going to have a picnic. Does everyone bring like potluck? And just go to the park and have some kirtan. Prabhupada didn't walk up and down the street in the beginning. He just sat under the tree, did Kirtan. So it's good if you go where, you find out where there's like farmers markets or where lots of people go, the ocean, things like that. In New York City, every day they're doing 6-7 hours Harinam. But there's also so many people. And if you're confident, then people appreciate that, because most people are very shy. And so if somebody's very bold to dress like this and go chant in the streets, most people have a lot of respect for that. It takes a lot of courage, I was in a temple in Los Angeles for some time. And every day we do Harinam on the boardwalk. And some people would abuse us, hey, what are you doing? But most people would be like, even if they don't like it, they'd be like, good for you. Good for you. So, yeah, Mahaprabhu gives so much more mercy. It's said there's a Harinam Chintamani book by Haridas Thakur, by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but it's the discussion of Haridas Thakur and Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu is saying that you get 100 times benefit by giving it out there to everybody. Because Krishna is very happy. You're giving this freely, with great magnanimity, you're giving it out to everyone. So Krishna reciprocates. But this is also, when you're doing group chanting like this, inviting people, this is also Sankirtan to one extent. You get people fired up enough. But in the early days, there was really a missionary spirit. So this is important also, Sometimes I joke, we are not interested in recreational bhakti. Have a good time bhakti. It's nice, but ultimately I say this is like a spiritual activism to awaken ourselves, to help others. It's also nice to do it in a way that you're not pushing it on people. So if you go with a lot of people and you make it like a celebration, it's like a beautiful celebration. Everyone dresses nicely and sings, nice instruments. Someone plays guitar, someone plays a trumpet. If you do it as a celebration, this is a celebration of spirit and our faith, freedom of religion. So I see it like that. If everyone does it, if you're shy, put on a nice disguise. Put on tilak, dhoti, sari, put on a disguise, and play instruments, and do it as a celebration, not like a cult, but just it's a celebration of spirit. Okay? Any other questions? There's more. Monica, yes.
Did anybody have a question?
You can go.
It's more of an appreciation rather than a question of what you said, if I may. But so often, especially when people are new to bhakti, there might be a confusion and a focus on the appearance and the rituals and the name. And I know that for myself, it was exactly what you said, the true connection, and that those things, the outer stuff is important, but it's not the base, and that the connections and the feeling of Krishna and Radha is what has helped me the most to transform for the better as a person, but also within my relationships and how to deal with difficult situations. I think that's what has strengthened my bhakti more than anything. So I really appreciate that you mentioned that. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. All right, everyone ready for Kirtan? Yes? Let's do some Kirtan, yes? Sunananda Prabhu, we'll do some Kirtan, okay? Hare Krishna, Jai Ho. Thank you, everyone. Again, thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you for welcoming me here. I know I'm just some stranger, so I appreciate the trust and the faith to let me come. Hare Krishna.